The title of this podcast is Let Go of Trying to Be Perfect and Getting a Perfect Outcome. Most recently, I listened to a podcast that someone turned me on to, in which Jay Shetty was the guest of this podcast. And in the podcast, they were responding to a listener who wrote in with a question. He was 39 years old and he wanted to get married, but he was wondering whether or not they would advise him to focus on his career and getting settled in life first, and then start to date someone. And that hopefully would eventually lead to marriage. Or should he work on the relationship piece first and then, take on the career? And Jay said something about the perfectionist mindset that struck me. And what he said says, we have this idea that if we focus on one thing, you will do it perfectly. And so, for example, if you're trying to choose between career and building a happy home, you have to choose one or the other. And we think that it will be perfect. Jay goes on to say, if I focus on one thing, I will do it perfectly. If I focus on home, then I will build a perfect home. If I focus on career solely, then I will build a perfect career. The truth is, you're going to do both imperfectly, whether you gave 100% or 50-50 to each. And I think that is so true. And for me, instead of focusing on being perfect, whatever I choose to do, whether it's one thing or multiple things, am I giving my best to it? Am I being kind along the way? Am I using every part of that journey to learn and to grow? And am I serving the people in the moment in front of me to the best of my ability? That's what I've made this be. I've given up the perfectionist mindset. I've given up trying to uh, bring about the perfect outcome. I've given all that up because when I did that, I suffered. And just as Jay said, the truth about it was when I was focused on one thing, I did it imperfectly. If I like right now, I'm playing pickleball. I'm doing that the best I can when I'm doing pickleball. My responsibilities at work, when I'm doing whatever that task is in front of me, I'm doing that to the best of my ability. And my relationships and my friendships and giving them my best when I'm engaged with the people that are in my life. Uh, and the truth is that I'm doing all of those imperfectly. I'm still hitting balls into the net in pickleball. I'm still like a minute or two late for a meeting, or I forgot to include something in the task that I've been assigned. In my friendships, I still, have the capacity not to greet, sometimes everybody with a smile and a hug because I'm, preoccupied by something else. So I'm not really present. And the list just goes on and on about how many things, despite, how I would have done them years ago, I continue to do imperfectly. And so what I have said is I'm going to work on myself every single day so that whatever is in front of me, I'm going to give my best. And when I started to do that, wow, the suffering fell away. And I was able to really experience the joy of, just being with the task, whether they were challenging or whether they turned out okay. It was a beautiful space to be. And this life that we're living now in this physical form is gone like that. I don't want to spend it suffering. And when I was, in the grip of this perfectionist mindset of being identified with being perfect and needing everything to turn out perfect, I suffered, not realizing that I didn't do it perfectly and hardly anything turned out to meet my definition of perfect. And I started to let all that go and I started to allow what came to come. and life became beautiful because we have no control over any of those things. And so, whatever you're engaged in right now in your life, consider letting go of that perfectionist mindset, that it has to be perfect and other people have to be perfect. Because as Jay said, the truth of it is you're going to do everything imperfectly, whether you give 100% or 50-50, or whether you split your time between multiple things. So if you're a parent or you're parenting, do your best. Don't try to be perfect. While when you are at work, same applies there, everywhere you go. And you'll be a better person for it, and people will have a better experience when they're around you.